Ava turned the key in the ignition, and the engine responded with a smooth purr. It was a sound that offered comfort, a whisper of familiarity in the wake of weeks spent adrift. Sunlight bathed the landscape in golden hues as she steered her car onto U.S. Highway 89, the road stretching endlessly ahead, framed by shimmering fields and distant mountains. She hadn't told anyone she was leaving, not really. A few vague comments about taking time for herself, needing a change of scenery. But in truth, this trip was her quiet rebellion, a solitary act of bravery. She wasn't running away so much as she was trying to remember who she had been before love unraveled her, before the long-term relationship that had shaped her 20s ended in silence, leaving her hollow and unsure of what came next. Now, the open road was a promise. She didn't know what she was looking for exactly, just something to make her feel alive again. At a small highway patrol station miles away, Carla adjusted her uniform collar and pulled her long black hair into a tight ponytail. It was her third month on the force, and though still new, she had already proven herself, calm under pressure, sharp on the road, thorough with her reports. Her colleagues respected her ability, but the hallways still hummed with quiet whispers. She was young, driven, and kept her personal life carefully guarded. Some took that as arrogance, others chalked it up to mystery. The truth was simpler. In a town as traditional as this, being different came with a price. Her uniform was her armor, her purpose, but it could also be a cage. She checked her mirror and started her patrol, easing onto the road just as the afternoon sun reached its peak. The moment fate decided to intervene came on a quiet, deserted stretch of highway. A sudden, jarring thump forced Ava to pull over, a flat tire. She sighed, stepping out onto the shoulder and shading her eyes against the sun. She stared helplessly at the damage, her phone showing no signal. Just as panic threatened to rise, she heard the low hum of an approaching engine. A patrol car slowed, then stopped behind her. The officer stepped out, her presence instantly commanding. She wore confidence like a second skin, though there was a warmth in her eyes that softened the sharp edges of her uniform. "Need a hand?" she asked, voice calm and steady. Ava blinked, momentarily caught off guard. The woman standing before her looked younger, 20, maybe 25. There was something almost cinematic about the way the sunlight caught the edges of her face, revealing strength and softness in equal measure. Yeah, Ava said, laughing a little. "I'm not exactly skilled at changing tires." "No problem," the officer replied, crouching beside the car and setting to work with efficient ease. They talked as she worked. Not small talk exactly, something easier, natural. They exchanged names. Ava learned the officer's was Carla. She watched Carla's hands, steady, practiced, and felt an odd pull in her chest. When the tire was replaced, Ava smiled with genuine gratitude. "You saved my day," she said. Carla smiled back, brushing a strand of hair from her cheek. "It's my job, but I'm glad I could help." An hour later, Ava stopped at a gas station to refuel and grab a snack. As she stepped toward the convenience store, she spotted a familiar figure leaning against a patrol car near the edge of the lot. Carla. She looked completely at ease, sipping from a large coffee cup, flipping through a clipboard of paperwork with focused intensity. For reasons Ava didn't fully understand, her heart gave a little leap. On impulse, she walked over. "I owe you one," she said with a small grin. "Can I buy you a coffee?" Carla looked up, surprised but not displeased. "Sure, I'd like that." They found a booth in the tiny diner attached to the gas station. Over mugs of coffee and a shared basket of fries, the conversation deepened. Time seemed to bend and soften around them. Ava confessed how lost she'd felt lately, and Carla spoke of what it was like to constantly navigate the expectations of others, of feeling isolated in a town where different wasn't always welcome. "I keep wondering if I'll ever stop feeling like an outsider," Carla admitted. Ava nodded slowly. "I keep wondering if I wasted too many years with someone who didn't really see me." Outside, the sky had shifted. Golden afternoon light spilled across the asphalt as they walked back toward their cars, now parked side by side. Ava hesitated. Her voice, when it came, was quiet. "Maybe it's too soon for this." Carla looked at her, eyes clear and steady. "Or maybe it's exactly the right time." The kiss was soft, gentle, a shared breath, a beginning. It didn't erase the past or promise the future. But in that moment, standing in the fading sunlight, it was enough. Because sometimes the road to healing isn't a straight line. Sometimes it's a curve in the highway where two lives, by chance or fate, begin to move in the same direction.